Hey, I'm Bruce, and welcome to the channel. Today I'm finally getting around to reviewing the Dometic DMC4101. This is a 10 cubic foot, 12 volt only refrigerator, and we've been the proud owners now for over 4 years. So we'll get into our experiences and everything in just a second, but first I'll tell you this isn't sponsored. So I want you to know that, so you know this is a very honest review. Again, we've owned it for over 4 years. We bought it with our own money. Thankfully, we did when it first came out, and the prices were still lower because I think we paid somewhere around 1,100 for it. And when I went to check online just now, I think the cheapest I saw was around 1,500. So it's gone up about $400 since we bought it. But spoiler alert, we love it. I'll get to some of the pros and cons in just a minute, but I will tell you there aren't a lot of cons. So that's why I wanted to let you know this isn't sponsored. And so if you're wondering, like, man, he didn't have a lot of negative things to say about this refrigerator, I wonder if that's because someone paid him not to. No, it's not. Again, like I said, we bought it 1,100 bucks. We put it into full-time use in 2021, and she's been going well for us since then. Knock on wood. Hope I didn't jinx this. So anyways, we'll jump into some specs. I did write some things down because I got a lot of thoughts going on up in this brain, and if I don't, I might forget something. So if I miss something on this list, or if there's something specific that you wanted me to talk about, go ahead and throw it in the comments, or send me an email, or I don't know, however you want to contact me, pigeon, something like that. But yeah, I'll try to answer those questions for you because I think it's important to share this. When we were searching, I had a very difficult time getting very much information on this. I don't know. I think they're probably more popular now. Probably more information out there. But when we went to do it, I searched high and low because at the time my choices were between a standard RV style refrigerator or a normal residential style refrigerator. And both had their cons to me for our application, doing our conversion that we're standing in right now. Normal RV style, there are a ton of those out there. Chances are, if you are looking into this, you have experience with a traditional RV style refrigerator that has the cooling fins in the back and can be run either propane or 120. And in my opinion, they have tons of cons. I did not want one of those. So I was leaning much more toward a residential style refrigerator, but because it's meant to be stationary, I was worried about durability, one, traveling with it, and two, the doors latching. This thing has like super good latches for the doors. Speaking of durability and traveling with it, this refrigerator, like I said, we've owned it for 4 years, but we've traveled over 25,000 miles with this conversion. So this refrigerator has seen a lot of use, and like bumps going down the road, jarring on level surfaces, all that kind of stuff. And again, like I said, she's running great. So I really don't want to jinx this. Not that we still run it full time, but we don't use it as our primary refrigerator right now. So that's why it's pretty empty when I show you the inside of it and everything. Right now, it's basically used as kind of like either one, an overflow, and then two, primarily for morning coffee, because where we're at, it has been cold the last few months. So when we wake up in the morning, we'll come in here and make our coffee in here. So this typically holds our creamer and whatever else my wife puts in hers. Is put half and half in mine, and sugar doesn't need to go in there, but so it's pretty empty. Anyways, we'll get on to the specs because you might want to know those. So again, the model number, this is the DMC 4101 right hinged door. It is a 12 volt direct current 12 volt direct current refrigerator only, and then its rated current is 13 amps at 12 volts. So when you do the math on that, it comes out to about 156 watts for power draw when the compressor's on. Again, I already told you it's 10 cubic feet, and it's very spacious for the refrigerator and the freezer part. If you do have that experience with the RV style fridge, one of the things I hated, most of them seemed pretty shallow to me, but then to go into that, they had these cooling fins in the back, which never seemed to function super well. They would, like, anything you put right near them, it would freeze it solid, even if it was in a refrigerator. And then anything that was away from it just seemed to stay kind of warm. But then also, what we hated about that as well is that it took up some of the valuable space inside. With this, when you open it, it looks very residential like. The box on both the top and bottom are very clean, and we love it. So that's all I can really think of for the specs, minus this kind of goes into our experience with it, so we'll just jump right into that. The power consumption. So like I just told you, with the 13 amps at 12 volts, looking at about 156 watts an hour, the way that it's kind of seemed for us is if you plan for about 20 minutes an hour that the compressor has to run, that would put you just under 1300 watts in a day that you would consume, which seems to be about on par for us. Again, so we bought this brand new in August of 2020, and it went into, like, we bought it, got it a few months early because I needed to get the dimensions and everything like that to make sure I installed it correctly. And then since then, it went into basically full-time use January of 2021. As of making this, we're midway through March of 2025. So over 4 years of use right now. She's been solid. Before, when we first got it started, I was paying attention to all the power consumption and seeing what everything would do. We had 300 amp hours of batteries on board in here. And when it wasn't plugged in, running full time, we weren't traveling full time then or living full time in it, so it would just stay stationary. And one of the things I would do is occasionally just walk out and see how she was doing. And if it fully charged the day prior, and then that next morning, so if the sun stopped around, I don't know, stopped making decent power, our panels are flat on this, so we'll just say 4:30, 5 o'clock in the evening, it would stop making very much with the solar, and then would continue like that until probably at least 8, 9 in the morning. When I would check it, generally it would have consumed about 20% of our battery, so around 700-ish watts. And that was obviously depending on the temperature and stuff like that, how cold it was outside or how hot it was outside, that sort of thing. But overall, I feel like that's pretty generous. I don't think that's a terrible amount of consumption. I know some people are probably running a much smaller refrigerator or a chest style or something like that, maybe getting a lot less power consumption out of it. But for us, it was well worth it because we're a family of 5. So when we travel, we like to have food. And this does a great job of making sure it all stays cold. So we can put plenty of days worth of groceries in here and know that when we get to wherever we're going and when we're at wherever we're going, that is going to keep it cool. So some of the things we want to, I've already hit multiple times on reliability. We love that aspect of it. For the most part, I can't think of any issues that I've really had with this other than maybe like if my son didn't close the door all the way one time or something like that, and we could notice some of the cool air leaking out of the freezer or something. Other than that, no issues. Again, knock on wood. Door seals. So the seals that they put on here, we love them. We didn't know it when we bought it because we didn't have a lot of experience with a 12 volt only refrigerator, but we've talked to other people and know other people that have bought campers that came with a 12 volt refrigerator already installed in it. It was not a Dometic. I don't know the brand, to be honest with you, but I do know that it was not manufactured as well. The doors would actually be warped and everything. And when running your hand around the door, you could feel the cold air like leaking out because it doesn't seal well. So with the door seals, what I'll also say that I love about it is the latching. I mean, these things are secure. I don't want to obviously pry my refrigerator door back, but you can tell they're very secure. I've never showed up or pulled over to a gas station, pulled into a campground, gotten home, anything, and the refrigerator had come open while in transit. Another feature that I do love is if we're ever going to be leaving for an extended period of time, they put this little catch on there and you can put it in that, and then it holds the door open that much so that way you can kind of air the refrigerator out if you need to. I personally like that, especially because I don't have to worry about it like swinging open and hitting the door if we're not in here. Or I also don't have to worry about it like closing on its own depending on where we are, and then you're not airing it out anymore. So that covers the seals in that. Oh, and then the no cooling fins in the back. Again, like I was saying, it's awesome because inside of here you get the whole box and it's very easy to keep your refrigerator organized. You have plenty of space. Again, it's 10 cubic feet. we've never really noticed any drawback like, oh man, we can't fit all of our groceries for the next few days in here. Plenty of space in the freezer. The freezer has three different settings: minimum, middle, and max. We generally keep ours right in that middle-ish portion, and it's been fine for ice cream, keeping meats frozen, whatever you need, whatever you put in there and you want it to remain frozen. Middle seems to do a great job on it. I don't know if max would, because to be honest, we haven't really used it and like tested it out. We didn't want to roll the dice and show up in our chicken or ice cream is melted or something like that. Max, obviously, I'm sure would do great. We just haven't needed it. As far as the refrigerator portion of it, they do have three different settings in here, so you can choose between performance, silent, and eco. And then once you've made that choice, you can also choose between 4 different levels, going from minimum up to the max level of 5. We currently have ours set on 4 on performance. So that's also, if you put it in eco mode or silent, I'm sure you would get less power consumption out of it. Again, we felt that the results it was giving us for being in performance and on the 4th coldest setting have been great. In our opinion, it was well worth what it uses for power. So I guess that brings us to the pros and cons. So the pros that I would say, size. We are very thankful. Again, we've rented campers before building our conversion. I personally wasn't very happy with the size of the refrigerators that were in those. And then with this one, giving you the full cabinet and the full opening in there without having the fins and stuff like that in the way, made all the difference too. It's very clean, has a nice deepish door drawers, or not drawers but shelves, if you will. These are a little adjustable. This one's not adjustable. These two are adjustable. This one's not adjustable, so you can move these up and down if you need to, but it does well for holding anything in the door. Whereas we also noticed that about your traditional RV style refrigerators, they're not as deep, so you couldn't put as much in the door. So we like that for the size. The looks, I mean, maybe some people don't care about it, but we love the look of this. It's a very clean looking refrigerator, and it just, I don't know, it adds to the value of the build. We love the look of it. It's literally directly across from the door, so when you walk in, the first thing you see is this very clean looking refrigerator, and for the most part, everyone seems to like that. Ease of use. So that was a big one for us. Again, I said we've tried the electric 12 volt chest style refrigerator, coolers, if you will, cooler, refrigerator, freezer. I don't know exactly what you want to call it, but it looks like a traditional cooler that you'd put ice in, but you can plug it in and it will cool. I think the one we had would cool down to -10 or so. It was an ARB style. Not knocking it. We really liked it, and it did a lot for us, but it was much smaller than this. There was no way we would fit as much food in that. That was just a single opening spot. It did have a freezer portion of it, but it was very small. I mean, like, I think the size of an egg carton was the freezer portion of it. And then it had a basket that had 2 spots that you could put anything you wanted refrigerated in there. We'd no longer have that one. It was good and served us well, but we got rid of it to clear out some space. Since then, we have gotten the EcoFlow chest style cooler. I love that. It does not have as much space as this, but it's great for just like a running around town type of thing, and we'll do a review on that. And also it comes with an ice maker that can make you ice in about 18 minutes. So that thing's really cool, and it also has its own onboard power. Sorry, I kind of digressed into that, but I just got excited because I remembered we have that one, and it's really cool. I like the features of that, so I'll have to do a review on that one and tell you some of the neat things about it. But back to this. Ease of use, and then reliability. Like I said, the reliability portion was huge for us. Not having to really worry what's going to happen if we go on a trip. Like, is our food going to be safe? That was a big thing for us because we did not trust some of the refrigerators that we've used in the past when the door doesn't seal well or something like that, or it's a lesser quality refrigerator, depending on where the food gets placed when you first put it in there, and then you show up and you see that the chicken's kind of falling toward the door when you go to open it up, and you're like, did that get too hot while we were driving? We've never had that issue with this, so we love it. Cons. again, like I said, I really had to think on this to figure out some cons to tell you about, because there really haven't been any for us. The two that I kind of came up with maybe is it does use more power than a traditional residential style refrigerator. So if you still need this much volume, but you need less power consumption, the only way I can think to really get it right now, I haven't seen another product, but a residential style refrigerator. We bought I want to say it's like a 14 cubic foot residential refrigerator for our outdoor space. And when I did test that one on a meter, it's a 120 volt and it consumes about 700 watts in a 24-hour period. So somewhere around 400 to possibly up to 700 less watts in a 24-hour period than this one does, and you get more size. But again, I don't know, because we haven't traveled with that one, how well it would hold up to the bumps and bangs that it's going to get. And the doors don't latch, so we would definitely have had to come up with some type of system to keep the refrigerator doors closed. This one, it's just a very, very simple solution for you, because the latches are already built in, so it keeps it very clean. There's nothing to think about. Like, as long as you close the door, you don't have to think, oh, I'm hooking up and getting ready to travel. I really hope that I remember to put the latch on my refrigerator and I don't pull over at the gas station and find all of my food spilled out on the floor. So that would basically be maybe one con, is just it does use more power than a traditional residential style refrigerator. The other one that I can think of that would be kind of nice, and I don't know, maybe in a future upgrade they'll do it or something, but the crisper drawers that are in the bottom aren't really crisper drawers. There's no like humidity control or anything. Not that I know how well that works in normal refrigerators either, but these are literally just plastic bins that fit under the bottom. And they do an all right job of holding any of your fruits and vegetables. But there's no humidity control for that portion. So that's kind of the only other con I could think of. Other than that, feel free to ask me. Maybe you'll jog something in my memory, but seriously, it's been great for us over the past 4 years. And hopefully will continue to be as we go forward, because we still use this thing every day and have plenty of use for it. So hope she keeps working well for us. If she doesn't, I will definitely let you know and tell you what goes wrong. But honestly, even now, if something did pop up, I feel like 4 years, 25,000 miles, pretty darn good. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, or send me a message. I'm happy to answer them and give you any more information on it. If it's something that you feel like would benefit everybody, I might even do like a special little YouTube short on that or something to show you a feature if I forgot to show it to you. So do that for me if you will. Subscribe, follow the channel. It definitely helps us out and makes it feel like there's a purpose behind these. We want to share information with everybody, so I hope it's reaching people. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you the next time.